Welcome to the Roots and Rhythm podcast, where we explore the essence of culture, our experiences, and a healing journey that shapes our growth in family. Through heartfelt stories about marriage, mental health, relationships, and parenting, we create a space where you can find connection, understanding, and inspiration. Join us as we explore the rhythms of life, one story at a time.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Roots and Rhythm podcast, where we explore the rhythms of life, one beat at a time. It's your boy, Vlad the Bull, your number one embrace coach, and I am joined by the lovely and only, the one and only,
Angie, la cyber mommy.
Yes, sir. That's the co-host. Yo, like Sabbath Mommy. So that feels good for you now, right?
Yeah, it is. It's what it is.
It's what it is.
That's it.
It's going to be what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man. Yeah, so this has been the longest, shortest week possibly of the summer so far.
Yes.
So you guys had the girls home.
Yep. It's the week between school/daycare and summer camp. So Alana is officially a pre-K graduate. I know. She's so excited. She's so pumped. Every time we pass her elementary school, she's like, that's my new school. And of course, Arya's like, mine too. And I'm like, eventually.
Eventually. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Right. But yeah, so the girls have been home, so it's like filled with activities and the pool and the splash pad and the museums and the papi-daughter dates and the movies and just trying to get them out of the house as much as possible. So it's been good.
That's
just
dope.
Exhausting.
Yeah, so we haven't had as much planned for Lito, but this boy can entertain himself with a rock and a stick.
Mm-hmm.
But we've actually spent a lot of time with you guys.
Yeah.
You guys were at the crib. We had some friends over. We brought him to our grandmother's house. He's been at his grandmother's house twice this week. So my mom is on cloud 25.
Right. She's so excited.
So, yeah, man, it's cool. It's always good to have like a little bit of a break, too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And the days go by faster when the kids get together. I feel like you're not as tired because they entertain themselves, and it's like a novelty to get them together. So I appreciate when we get together because they entertain themselves. We get to chill a little bit, and the day speeds by. It's already bedtime. Great.
I know
Go
Spunky.
I know Spunky.
There was a lot of spunkiness, y'all. And Julie told me that when we were leaving yesterday that she did not have a great time.
Nah.
Ari did not have a great time.
Nah, she wanted to stay longer. She wanted to touch everything. She wanted to explore more. She didn't want to eat until it was time to go. She's like, wait, my plate. Oh, no. And I'm like, girl, you had literally 3 hours to eat that hot dog. Please. It's over.
Yo, yeah, actually, it happened the other day where Aria was eating a muffin, and I think it was a peach at your house, and she abandoned it at one point, and Lito found it and was like,
And then she wants it. She wants it because other people had it.
I was like, yo, bro,
hot mess.
I love all y'all, but put that down.
Yeah.
Me and Walls were like,
It builds their immune system. It's like whatever at this point.
If you say so. So yeah, I'm excited about this episode today because we're talking about marriage and marriage dynamics, relationship dynamics at that. And obviously one of the things that got us both together starting this podcast was the fact that you and I have very similar, as for married couples within our respective relationships, we have very similar value systems and we have very similar philosophies as it pertains. And we've given a little bit of context as to how you met your spouse, how I met my spouse, and how those dynamics live today. But I think it's a great episode for the people because we're diving deep into those dynamics that, maybe some people need to talk about before y'all get married.
Yes.
Okay?
A lot of questions you need to ask before you get married.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, right?
Okay.
What was a particular time for you in your marriage and your relationship with Wallace? What was a particular time for you where you felt particularly supported by him? Like, I know this dude's got my back here, and I know he's probably going to have my back and support me in my dreams later on.
Yeah, so that's a tough one, only because I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up. But Wallace definitely knows exactly what he wants to do. So Wallace, to me, supports me in letting me try to figure out what my dreams are and giving me that space to do that, right? So prime example is this that we're doing. He's very supportive. He knows like the days that we record. Like he's willing to like push things so we can have the time to record. Yeah, so he's just anything that I ask him to do, and he said it many times, like when I do figure out that thing, if it requires, the thing that I want to do forever, if it requires him moving, like he would, because I already did that for him. Like,
right,
so he's like, just let him know, and he's like willing, he's like, it'll be your turn type thing.
So why did you guys move to Massachusetts for Ball in the House specifically?
Yeah, we moved for the band.
Oh, and the band is based out of Massachusetts?
Out of Boston,
Out
yeah.
of Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's like people have to live a certain like radius, I think. And now it's a little different because when you buy a house, it just depends where you live. But as long as you can make it to rehearsal, like you can't be a flight away. You have to be within like an hour of where rehearsal is, so they can like get on the tour bus and go when they have shows and stuff. But yeah, because again, I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up, and my job was very flexible. And not to brag, Vlad, but any job that I have, I'm gonna be good at.
Right.
And I think that's why it makes it hard to be like, I want to do this, because when you're good at everything, it's hard, and again, that's not bragging, that's literal facts.
You're an ambitious person, and you're a quick learner, and that means that no matter what you tackle, what you try, it's really not even a matter of your abilities. It's a matter of, do I want to do this or not?
Right. And even at my current job, anything that they've ever given me, I just excel at. So I don't think there's any job. I just have to find the one I like the most, I guess. But there's never a job that I think that you can't be on the job trained or give me the blueprint and I'll figure it out. Maybe except for like lawyer, doctor, surgeon general.
I don't know. You get all the job training on site for the police department. It's one of those few jobs where you can go and they give you everything. And
that's a job that I think needs more training, because in, what is it, 6 months? How long is the training?
6 months, 24 weeks. At least that's what it was when I went in. And now I think it's a little bit shorter because they want to, the political climate drives how the training goes, right? So we've had a couple of snafus, should I say, in the last few years with the Mass State Police. So they're reforming the training now based on some things that have happened, some losses that have happened. When I was in there, it was a particularly controlled environment, and it was, I'll be honest with you, there was a lot of what people would call hazing, but I didn't necessarily see it as a bad thing. And the reason why I didn't is because the world out there that they were preparing us for was nothing nice.
Yeah, way worse.
I knew that these dudes were flipping my room and doing all this stuff and calling me names, but they were names they couldn't call me. There were things that they couldn't do. Out there, it's for everybody, right? Like you pull somebody over, it's on. If that person don't want to go to jail, if they got a suspended license, or if that person doesn't want to, they got two strikes, we're not a 3-strike state, but if that person's got felonies or they got an active warrant, and they decide the only way that they're gonna leave that situation is by leaving you somewhere, it's on. So I'm like, if they didn't haze us, if they didn't prepare us and introduce a certain level of stress, bro, we'd be broke, okay? But to your point, what the job training does not prepare you for is how to maintain a marriage while you're in a high-stress job like that, where your spouse, like my wife, knew that there was a very good chance that every time I said goodbye to her that she would never see me again. Stressful.
That's stressful, for sure.
That places a strain on the dynamics that we have as a married couple, right? So.
Oh, even still, without you being in the police.
No.
Okay.
Now, no, because I'm here all the time.
Oh, well, I was gonna say, I'm like, oh my gosh, like PTSD.
Nah, she knows I'm going down the street. Well, actually, you know what? I lied because after I drop Letho off, what I'll do is, like, if I have something to do, like I gotta get gas or I gotta go buy something to meal prep, I'll just go do it. And at one point, Julie was like, "Yo, you gotta tell me where you're going." And I'm like, "Yo, girl, I'm straight, but maybe you don't know." And she's like, "Listen, that's a piece of anxiety for me. I want to know where you are so I can accurately predict maybe as much as I can that you're coming back." In my mind, I'm like, "What you tripping for? I'm straight. Like, I'm here." I think that's a guy thing, though.
Yeah. Wallace is the same thing. He, again, when he's gone, but when he's home, he's home. So if he goes and drops off the girls and doesn't make it back by a certain time, I do call him. I'm like, "Did you go to the store or something?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm literally parked outside just finishing, listening to whatever was on the radio," because he's an NPR guy. So he does a lot of NPR.
I love NPR. I love me some NPR, man.
Yeah, and usually I'm like, "Oh, yeah, he is parked out there."
No, man. We're thinking about NPR right now because we obviously know that the current administration is stripping a lot of funding for them. So I grew up in Cambridge. Shout out to Steve over here, my cousin. You can't see him; he's off camera, but
he's in the
Steve,
live studio audience.
He's in the live studio audience right now, in the Roots and Rhythm Green Room, if you can call it that. And we are an NPR funded family.
Yes.
Right? Like, my parents didn't know what NPR was, but my dad actually always listened to NPR.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back to the point you were making, we were talking about Wallace being supportive of you. You might not even have that vision or that certainty, right? But you know that this man will support you.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Any wild idea that I have, yeah, he supports it. And I know that he would whenever I wake up one day and I'm like, you know what, Wallace, I need to move to Timbuktu because that is where the future is. And Wallace would be like, okay, well, let me know. Like, I looked up some schools for the girls, you know, because now it's like, it's a bigger picture. It's not just moving me and him. It's, you know, we have to take the girls into consideration. But I know for sure he'd drop everything and, you know, for the family, if that's what I feel like we need to do.
So check this out, right? Why are we talking about dynamics in relationships and especially marriage? Why is that important? And what does the data say, right? Particularly about where marriages are headed in 2025 in the U.S.
Crunch the numbers, Vlad.
Listen, I gotta share this with you, right? So about 41% of first marriages are projected to end in divorce, according to some sources, right? Second and subsequent marriages get a slightly higher rate at that. So we're talking about anywhere between 60 and 67% of second marriages are doomed to fail. And this is where it actually gets interesting, right, Angie? So the factors that influence divorce rates are delayed marriage, increased cohabitation before marriage, and better premarital counseling are believed to contribute to the slight decline in divorce rates. So basically, trying out the flavor before you try it out forever.
Well, yeah, because you
right?
kind of like figure out how people live. Because what if you get married and then find out this person's a slob or this person, I don't know, just anything that you're not okay with. This is why it's so important to like be vetted, get vetted, vet that person, figure out like, can I do life with this person? Like, don't rush into anything.
Well, let me ask you this. What do you say to the older people who are dating, you know, later in life, dating beyond their 20s and 30s and even 40s and who don't have a lot of time to figure it out?
And I feel like those kind of people, because my mom was one of those people. She got remarried after her 55th birthday. She was in late 50s when she got remarried.
Wow.
But it's like you go into any new relationship like, this is what I don't tolerate. Like, they don't waste time. You know, I think younger people are more so try to be people pleasers. So it's like, oh, that's okay. Oh, I don't have to tell them that right now. Or, oh, you know, I'll let that slide. It's like, don't let stuff slide. Like, be upfront. Like, this is my yes, my non-negotiables, my what I like, what I don't like. Be honest. Like, it's literally like a job application, even though it's not a job. It's a relationship. Everything's not like, what's the word? Everything's not like so robotic, but this is the rest of your life. So I feel like you need to ask those important questions.
Okay. I'm going to go there. Can I go there
real
quick? All right, I'm going to go there. All right, so let's do a case study. Let's say you've got a friend, a girlfriend, or a brother, family member.
Okay.
You know, they're coming out of divorce. They're either coming out of divorce or they're just doing it later in life. And they're dating somebody who, you know, and at that time, back in the day, they used to call it, we're talking, right? And I used to ask, like, talking about what? What y'all talking?
We chilling.
Like, y'all talking? Who you talking to? You talking to each other? You talking to, you know, the cashier? I want to know who y'all talking to because everybody's talking these days.
And what you talking about?
What you talking about, right? So say they got somebody that they're dating, they're talking, they're trying to figure it out. At what point is it necessary for that person to draw some lines in the sand and establish right off the gate, this is what I want and this is what I'm looking for, right? Because I've heard it mixed. Some people don't want to jump right into, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I want, this is the timeline, if the timeline exists, because it might scare the person away and it might ruin the organic nature of the courting process. But on the other hand, I've heard people say, if you don't know what you want and you don't know that person doesn't know that you know what you want, then you guys are going to be talking in circles
for
forever,
years.
right?
Then you look up and it's been 12 years. You know what I mean?
Yo, it happens.
It
bro.
does happen. It does happen. That's why I'm like, be upfront. Obviously, not the first date you just met this person, so don't be like, I don't know, you want kids? Like,
No,
you know, like
that's
off.
pretty relevant though. To ask
No,
in the first few dates.
In the first few dates, but not the first day. Like, hey, Vlad, how are you? My name's Angie. I love shrimp. You want kids? Like. You know, I feel like there has to, like you said, like organically come up, but obviously I would say within like the first month or two, at least like the top 2 or 3 things that you won't settle on, those have to be brought up.
Okay,
because then we're wasting time.
So tell me this: what are the top 3 things? I think we did this on another episode where we like took Wangie out of the picture and just put Angie in there.
Yeah.
And by the way, it's Angie Thomas, not Angie Martinez.
Yeah, or Rodriguez. Right. I don't know why Spotify did that. It's only on one episode, but yes, Thomas. I am a Thomas.
If I could go contigo, I fly away soon as you say, baby, that moves. I guess it's a compliment. I don't know. Angie Martinez got money.
Yeah.
But, okay. So say it's not Team Wangie, it's Team Angie right now, and you're dating a Wallace or somebody else. What are those top 3 to 5 deal breakers that you need to know within the first few dates before you go any further?
Well, I'll bring, again, not Wallace, but just when I was younger and dating, because Wallace and I have been together a long time.
Sure.
I did not want anyone that had kids from a prior marriage. But again, I was 18, 19. If I was my age now, it's like hard to date if someone doesn't have kids, you know?
Right.
So it's hard. So it just depends, like, the stage you are in life. But for Angie at that time, or do you want me to do now or in the time?
Yeah, let's talk about it now, because obviously we're in our 30s, right? Mid to late 30s, understanding that it's impossible to date people without kids. Right?
So like
not impossible.
Yeah. So if I wasn't with Wallace, I didn't have any kids going in, they'd have to have no baby mama drama. I'd have to observe how they are with their kids if they had kids, because I also don't want to date a deadbeat.
For clarification purposes,
yes,
deadbeat to you means what?
That they don't see their kids, they aren't in their lives actively.
Not present.
No, they have to have 50-50 custody, in my eyes, to be a present father. Right. Because if you only see them on the weekends and every other Thursday, that's not you being an active father. That's you helping the mama babysit the kids.
That's you being a mentor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Big brother, big
coach.
sister see him. Big brother, big sister
yeah,
see him.
no, shared custody. If I was this age dating out in the world, because I have friends that are dating. More power to you. I couldn't be me. Yeah.
I don't know how y'all do it.
Yeah, y'all are doing the work out there.
Y'all doing God's work.
Yes. So if they have kids, they have to have 50-50 custody.
Okay.
No baby mama drama. I don't need anybody showing up at my house. Where's my kid? Blah blah. No. They have goals and ambitions. College educated, a plus. If not, that's okay. But as long as you're like you wanna continue in life and you have goals and ambitions, and that they love their family.
Okay, so no baby mama drama or baby father bother.
Yep.
College educated or ambitions, drive.
Yeah,
like
drive. Yes,
life.
a plan. Yes.
Okay. And 50-50 custody. I don't know if that's like a separate one.
Well, that goes with the no baby mama drama.
Okay.
Yeah, so that one. But then what did I say last?
The drive. I think you talked about.
The drive and ambition. Yeah.
Okay, so those are top 3. Is there anything else? Because I ask because...
No, I think that's like the top.
Anything
else might be icing on the cake, or we'll figure it out later, or maybe I haven't even considered that. Again, I've been out of the dating game a long time, so I don't even know what else to ask. Bro. We'll figure it out as we go.
I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Like, the beautiful thing about dating is that you get to figure it out, and it's fun to figure it out.
Oh, that he loves his family. That was the third one.
Yeah.
Loves his family, spends time if he has, again, we talked about the siblings. If he has siblings, like has a good relationship. And I'll take he doesn't have a relationship for good reasons.
Be it
trauma, abuse, whatever. But
how about faith? How important is faith for you in the hypothetical? Or even just in your relationship with Wallace, like how important was it that you had similar faith backgrounds?
So that is important, and I think I didn't bring it up because I've never had that issue.
It happens.
It does happen, so I'm trying to think. I don't think I would care as long as you believe in something. You can't be out here just like, F it, no thanks.
So you wouldn't date an atheist?
I don't think so. No. No. Because, well, I guess in my hypotheticals, I wouldn't want kids if I'm at my age right now, but maybe eventually, I don't know. And that's hard. I feel like when you are, unequally yoked.
Unequally yoked, that's it.
Yeah, when you're unequally yoked and there's kids involved, it's tough because it's like, what do? They could learn about both if it's too different, but if there's nothing, then it's like anything I say, you're going to be rolling your eyes. So I don't know. That'd be tough. I don't think I could do it.
Okay. What about, all right, so you mentioned drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if you're both ambitious people,
Mm-hmm.
but you're not driven in the same direction? And this is what I mean by it.
Mm-hmm.
For an example, say that you are a really solid Wall Street day trader, and you're just ambitious. You're trying to get to the top. You're trying to get into leadership positions. You have plans for your life. You got a plan for your what happens after 10 years. Where should I be in this company before I decide to leave? You going after it.
Yeah.
Whether it's the bag or whether it's the booty, whatever it is, you're going after. You're going after with the plan. And say you're dating somebody who's ambitious, but those ambitions are going to take you away from things you want to do. So, like, say you're really ambitious and you're a day trader, whatever. I'm just using day trader as an example. And part of you wants to travel and see the world. That person's ambitious, but they really want to stay planted in the community and do their work there, or just stay within an arm's reach of their family. Is that a deal breaker? And where's that line in the sand, right? In terms of, where do I cut this off before I know it's, so I don't waste any more of my time?
Yeah. I don't think it's a deal breaker. It'd be tough because you have to have those conversations like, who's going to do this? And the other one will support, and then it'll eventually be my turn. Because I also tell myself this. I'm like, you can have it all, but not all at once. So I know that in this current stage of my life, I'm home with the girls more because Wallace is living his dream. Because I don't know what my dream is. But I know for a fact if I did have like a goal, right, of this is what I want to do in 2 years, babe, we need to move to California or whatever, he'll support that, right? I know that he would. But right now, I don't know what that is. So it's like we're here. And I'll eventually get there, right? And whatever happens. But I have what I need right now, but I can't have it all at one time.
Why Did I Get Married comes to mind. I love that movie. I probably watched it, maybe a dozen times. I love that movie for so many reasons. Because every time I watched it, because I watched it through the years. I think the first time I saw it, I was like 19. And boy, I was way far from getting married.
Yeah.
I didn't even know Jules yet. So I was like, that sounds great. But as I watched it more and more, it just becomes more relatable, right? Because you have those experiences. And one of the things that I picked up from it, and I remember, is the 80-20 rule. And talking about being equally yoked. I think oftentimes, especially in modern day, and we conflate with what we would like to have kind of as a bonus. Like, maybe I'm usually the example of these women talking about, I need a man who's 6 feet and makes 6 figures. I'm like, yeah, but you don't even make like 4 figures.
Right.
Like,
it's like, what are you bringing to the table? This table with 6 figures.
Yeah, like that's crazy.
Yeah, but that's funny you bring up the 80-20 rules. I was talking to one of my friends that recently got married, and we were going through. She was like sharing some things that happened in like one of her family members' lives and stuff, and she's like, "That's why I'm glad like my marriage isn't like that." She's like, "And I love you and Wallace's marriage, but I couldn't do it if my husband left all the time." And I was like, well, the 80-20. I was like, when Wallace is home, he's home.
Right.
And Wallace might not be home all the time, but he is the most present father that I've ever met.
Dude, Wallace is so present that he be watching our kids too.
Because it's about the relationship. It's not about the time. It's like the quality of time, And his job is very flexible. He tells them, hey, I can't do XYZ because the girls have this or Angie has this or whatever. And it's doable. But it's like you have to communicate that, And again, he's very present. I can't even imagine him being home every day, because how much more present can you be?
He could be in your mind.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
hey, baby,
he's just so good because he prioritizes what he prioritizes. You know, if he knows he's on the road and he wants to go see some movie that none of us girls want to see, he sees it when he's with, you know, the bandmates. When he's home, he's home. When he's home, it's like, what are we doing all together, girls? Or we're like, oh, I want to do this. And he does it, you know? So it's like, where was I going with that, Vlad? It's so late.
It's late, man. We recording this. Don't ask me. My brain's scrambled.
Yeah. So he's just so present, and it's like you make time for what you want.
The 80-20 rule.
Yeah, the 80-20 rule.
Things that you can have it all, but not at the same time.
Yes, you can. And I wholeheartedly believe that. And then what happens if you're trying to have it all at once? You're gonna drive yourself nuts. You know. So it's like, what are your priorities, and go from there, right? But you're never gonna have 100% of everything you want. And that's okay.
Yeah, you know, I think what it leads to, right, is if you're expecting 100% of what you want and need in a partner 100% of the time, you're always going to be disappointed. And then that disappointment becomes resentment when you don't understand why you're disappointed. So a lot of people, they enter relationships and they expect it to look a certain way, to feel a certain way. I'm gonna be honest with you, Hollywood messes a lot of people up.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because people have this understanding about marriage that's supposed to be goodies and gun drops and rainbows and dinner dates, and that stuff is great. But you know how it is, yo. When you got kids, you in the trenches. This is
you
war.
in the trenches, dog.
Okay, it's about, like, listen, it goes from candlelit dinners, like, yo, dust off my boots real quick because I am hurting and I need to go to the bathroom. These kids is driving me nuts, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's sad that, because I saw somewhere else that marriage rates are they're steadying out in 2025, but there's still such a higher divorce rate now. When I was a cop, divorce rate was, I don't remember the statistic. I'm gonna look this up actually in a minute, but the divorce rate's much higher.
Yeah,
it was because it's the nature of the work, right? And I used to hear a lot of these guys, Angie, talking at the water cooler, of course, when I was on the desk, goes around, do whatever. And they're talking about how much money, not they made, but they're talking about, oh, man, you hear about Thomas. Man, Thomas made $165 last year. He's crushing it in details. He got over $90,000. Oh,
Nah, hey, kid, you don't even know about this other dude, man. Williams made $200K.
I'll never hear nobody talking about their family.
Oh, because they're doing overtime to not go home, Vlad.
You know, a lot of dudes I worked with, you know what they do? They worked. It was so traditional. They were the breadwinner. They had stay-at-home spouses, and they never saw their family. I know a guy. He's like one of the highest-paid state police ever. So I just had to swat that. And I used to work with him. I never saw this guy leave the barracks. He was there on my off days. I'm like, bro, don't you ever go home? Do you have a home? Do you need help? You want to talk about it?
And they feel like they have to because they want to provide like all these things for their families when all their families wants for them to be home.
Well, you know, it's like our wedding song, Journey. The roads, they say that the road is no place to start a family. I think it is if you take everybody with you in some way, shape, or fashion. The problem is a lot of people, I'll speak about men because men, that's my bag. Yeah. Men are socialized to produce and not to protect, right? The protect and serve often gets liquidated and gets just boxed into, I just need to provide money. I need to provide resources. And we don't realize that we're not protecting our family from the loneliness that comes with your partner not being. Now imagine if Wallace was gone all the time.
He is.
And then when he came home, all right, but all right, let's imagine that Wallace was gone all the time.
Yeah.
And then when he came home, he still wasn't present.
Yeah.
He wasn't checking in with you. He was like, hey, Angie, I'm tired. Can you, from the trip, from the tour, just take care of the girls out for a little bit. I just need to recharge. And that just became the norm.
Yeah. Wallace would never, because Wallace prioritizes his family. But I love that Wallace is living his dream, and the girls get to see that because that, I feel like, helps them know that they also can live their dream. Wallace isn't over here like, oh, I have to be home with the girls. No, they get to see him go out there, do what he loves, obviously come home. He always comes home. Right. But it's like sometimes it takes it. And sometimes we join him. Like we'll go to his shows and they see him on stage and see how everybody loves it. And he's helping the community. They do music outreach. They do all these things. Yeah, like he's a talented songwriter. Like they see that. So it's like, and that fills me up because it's like, wow, I get to help in that and see someone I love live their dream. They see their papi living his dream. So it's like, that has to happen. So yes, it's tough. Yes, you know, my mama don't live here. I wish she did. But I always say, if my mama lived anywhere in Massachusetts, I wouldn't miss Wallace as much as I do.
You touched on something important that I don't want to gloss over.
Yeah.
You said it's great the girls get to see their papi living their dream, but they also get to see what it looks like in a partner supporting their partner,
right?
In living their dream.
And they're gonna want to find that if they eventually want to start a family, get married, whatever. That's what they're gonna look for. Like, I want someone like that for myself.
Actually, to that point, I want to talk about a little bit how important it is, those early childhood experiences, because we all, you know, with us, it always goes down to the roots, right?
Yep.
How the roots affect our rhythm. How important it is, those early childhood experiences, what we've observed in our parents' relationship or lack thereof, and how that sets the stage for the relationships we experience when we're out there in the game. I'm gonna keep it a stack, like this big a stack. When I met my wife, one of the first things I said to my boys was, "She's too nice."
Oh, Emmy said that about Wallace. Ain't nobody that nice.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah, no, that was me. They were like, "Yeah, nah, man, she looks good and she's really driven. She's brilliant, but she's too nice. What's the catch?" And it's because trauma produces scarcity mindset, especially if you're a child of divorce. Like, when's that shoe gonna fall?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, what is it? Nobody's that nice. Nobody's parents are that nice. Nobody's siblings are that nice. What's up with this girl?
No, it's like self-sabotage. It's like you don't want good things to happen to you. So it's like finding that excuse, like why it can't happen. Oh, because no one's that nice. So you know what? I'm going to push this person away. Thankfully, you didn't do that.
Well, one of the things I had to learn in therapy was I am deserving of good things to happen to me. So if the reason why I was entering these relationships thinking that something bad was going to happen to me from my partner, that my partner was going to betray me, or my partner was going to leave me, or I'd open up and they'd use the most vulnerable pieces of me against me. Number one, it's because my mom told me to do that.
Yeah.
But it's also because subconsciously I thought I deserved that because that's just the norm.
Right.
You know, the ride or die mentality that you get from just scarcity in the hood and you know, in the what do they call it? I came out the mud. Yeah. Where you say you came out the...
I came from the muck.
They came out the Pokemon. You know?
Muck.
Muck. Yeah. So, how... Actually, I want to ask you this.
Okay.
How did your parents' dynamics, what did you observe, and how does that contrast or compare to your relationship with Wallace?
So... growing up, it was very traditional. My dad worked overtime, 100 million hours, but there was a lot of us, so I think it was, you know, warranted. And then my mom was a stay-at-home mom until we all went to school, and then she worked at the school. So she was home when we were home. She was home for the holidays and all that. But I feel like I tried to emulate everything my mom did for my dad, but he was a very old school. So my mom would serve his food and it'd be on all different plates because he had to serve himself from the little plates. So then Wallace and I got married, and it was just so easy with Wallace because he grew up with a single mom. So it's like she was a nurse, so she worked like 12 hours a day. So when Wallace came home, he'd just fix himself food, and, you know, he was like a latchkey kid. Is that what they call it? Yeah. So I would like try to emulate that, like, oh, what do you want to eat today? And he's like, I already ate. I ate 4 sandwiches. Like, I'm chilling. So then I'm like, oh, well, easy for me, right? But yeah, so it was very traditional in that sense. But yeah, just traditional, I would say.
I mean, I would say that. Like, we came over your house a couple of days ago, and you had burgers to go. I'm like, dang, Angie's.
Yeah, and it's just like comes naturally. I don't know if it's like being the oldest or just watching my mom, but I love to have people in my house, and I love to cook for people. I cook to survive. So when I cook, it's like I really gotta like you.
You gotta do it up.
Yeah, I gotta do it up.
Is there anything for you in your relationship that you observed with your parents that you didn't want to bring?
Yeah, I don't think there was any like dating, like they did not date each other. I feel like my mom was with my dad out of obligation, because they were married, they had kids, and she stayed married, I feel like longer than she should have because he was very verbally abusive. But I did not want to emulate that. We're, as you know, a no yelling house because I came from a yelling house. And yeah, just like I don't think they really liked each other.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So Wallace and I generally are each other's best friends. We love each other. We want to be in the presence of each other. To the point where sometimes, obviously, I'm human and I do yell at the girls sometimes and I catch myself and obviously I apologize. But like they get shook. They're like, oh no, and not that I like that, but I like that that's the reaction because it's not normal. When they get me to that point and it's like I have to yell, they're like, oh, what's going on?
Didn't Alana say something to you and it convicted you, right? When I think you yelled at her, you like lost your patience.
Yeah, she's like, Mommy, why did you yell? Apologize. And I was like, let me get there. I was gonna. I promise. But she's like, don't do it again. I was like, I'll try, but I might. I was like, I might do it again. And I was like, and I'll apologize again. But yeah, because she knows like we don't do that. That's not like our house normal. But yeah, so that's definitely something I did not want to bring into it. I also think like trust. Even though I don't think there was any like cheating with my parents, like I don't think it was that. I just think my dad felt like because he knew he wasn't doing right that my mom probably would. So it's like he's always like, oh, where did you go? Oh, when are you coming back? Oh, this. And it's literally she went to the store or she was with us,
So like there was a bit of controlling that.
Yeah, it's trying to control her. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for me, I just didn't want to bring any of it. It was nothing.
He's like, yep, that one too. Don't want to bring it.
No, I didn't want to bring it. There was nothing in my parents' marriage I wanted to bring. My mom told me that they didn't have a wedding. They just got married at the courthouse, basically. And as the story goes, my mom overheard my father talking after they got sworn in and everything, and said, my father was asking, I think the priest or somebody, one of the officials, what would be the process if I needed to get divorced? What would that be like?
Not already asking.
Now imagine the day you get married.
Oh,
be like,
no.
Oh yeah, thank you, priest. Thank you, father. By the way, if I need to get divorced,
yeah, how do you do that? How do you get divorced?
Well, at that point, if it took you a mere matter of minutes to bail mentally on your marriage, should you have been married in the first place?
Right. Don't think so.
Probably not. So, yeah, and like I said, my parents didn't communicate unless they were screaming at each other. They didn't sleep in the same room, so no dates. I think the only time I can count, there was one memory I have, and I remember them because they were the only times we did anything together that wasn't chaotic or verbally or physically violent. One time we were driving on Central Square. We were getting some pizza, I think from Hi-Fi Pizza, and my dad had an old school 74, I think Chrysler Grand Marquis, something like that, and water was seeping in through the floor of the car. And I used to think that was normal until I realized, yo, Dad, why you buy this car for 50 cents? Of course it was going to be
literally. Oh my gosh.
So there was that time, and then there was one time that we went to Old Country Buffet as a family. And as a family, like me, my father, my brother, myself, and my mom told me, she's like, your dad never wanted to come, but then last minute was like, oh, I'll go with you guys. So I think it was maybe one of their upswings, right? But yeah, nothing redeemable. So when I met Julie, I was learning it all from scratch, and all the women that I dated before her were introduced that same element. Like I had nothing that I was bringing in other than I didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
and that's actually something I think is important for people to know, because oftentimes when you're a child of trauma, you go into relationships if you want something different for your life, saying, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna be like my dad. I'm not gonna be like my mom, no matter what. And that's just not enough.
Yeah.
Right? First of all,
you got to do the work.
And we have the best and worst parts of our parents, because if we're biologically connected to them, we inherited those genes, but we also have observed their behavior. So even after you do the work, like, dude, I know that I have my father's tendencies and my mother's tendencies. I know that, and that's just part of the work that you do. Like, I know that when I'm feeling really overwhelmed by something, I tend to isolate. That's my dad. Or if I'm feeling particularly stressed about something, I tend to just be a busybody and not stay still and work myself into the dirt. That's my mom, right? So to deny that part of me is not helpful, actually. It actually gives me the opposite effect.
You talked about your other girlfriends, but I want you to answer that question that you asked me. If Julie wasn't in the picture and you were dating right now in your mid-30s, what would you be looking for?
I'll tell you 5 things I'd be looking for.
Oh, God. I've had this list in my brain. I'm glad you asked.
5 things I'd be looking for. Number 1, somebody who respects their soul and themselves. Okay, so I mean somebody that eats well, or that's conscious about eating well, and is conscious about thinking well. Right. Number 2, somebody who is financially literate. I ain't got time to be teaching you how to count pennies.
Yeah.
In 2025, or what a checking account is, or maybe what you should or shouldn't be doing with your credit. Like, I ain't got time for that. At this point, if you don't thirst for that knowledge, I ain't gonna sit here waiting to drink from your empty cup.
Facts.
Okay. Number 3, somebody's equally yoked spiritually. I'm not a religious person by any means. I'm not a legalist, super rigid conservative by any means, but I do believe in God and I do love Jesus. We must have that in common, minimum. Okay, we don't have to be in church all the time, but I want to be able to pray with you.
Yeah.
Right? Like when it gets tough, when we first moved here, the very first thing we did after we cleaned this house is we christened every single door and we prayed together in that living room on our knees. And it was the most beautiful thing that I
love
ever
that.
shared with Jules. We prayed on our knees, crying, thanking God, and praying blessings over this house. Like that was, ooh.
I love that. Yeah, we did something similar. We brought our pastor in to, to bless the house. Yeah, I love it.
Got to. What was that? Number 3? Okay. Number 4, ambitious and goal-oriented. One of the things that attracted me to Jules the most was I met her. She was in grad school getting her MSW. I was like, oh.
And she's a Fulbright scholar.
And she's a Fulbright scholar. I'm like, where they find you at?
Right.
And I mean, for me, you know how when you on the rebound, like I met Jules when I thought I was looking for a rebound chick. Girl, could you be it? That's what I thought I was looking for. But I didn't find me a rebound. I was on a whole nother playing field, right? And I'm like, yo, the girl that I was dating before, she was at school and she wasn't even enrolled in classes. I don't know how she's living on campus. It was crazy.
What is going on, Vlad?
Yeah.
Where did you find her?
I ain't gonna say. I'll say this. It's more like the question was, where didn't you find her?
Oh my gosh! Not at the library, at the schoolhouse. Okay.
Nah, she was at the library, but she wasn't studying books.
Oh Lord.
Ooh. Anyway, that's number. Is that
the 4?
Okay. Thank you, Angie, because you know my brain.
Yeah.
Number 4, ambitious, has a plan for her life. When I met Jules, she'd already succeeded her Fulbright scholarship. She went to her birth country for her Fulbright scholarship. I'm like, damn, you're not only ambitious, you are oriented. Like you just you know exactly what you want.
Yeah.
And I like that about Julie. Even though I didn't know what I wanted when I met her precisely, I knew that I could get there right with her. And number 5, I would want somebody who is direct and communicative about their feelings, who knows how to express themselves emotionally in an intelligent way. Because you know how it is. We're around married couples. We talk to a lot of married people. We've got the gamut, right? We've had friends that have been divorced. We've got friends that, in between. Yep. And something that saddens me, everybody used to always tell me, son, man, you want to be married as long as I have, you got to learn how to communicate.
Hopefully from someone that actually communicates, because these old men don't be talking, but continue.
They don't be talking. Right?
But you got to meet somebody that does communicate.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. Like,
not you doing it. They got to do it.
They got to do
right,
it. Like, that's
right.
cool. That's cool, okay, but I need to know how
you're
doing what you tell me to do.
Exactly.
Now, because one of the things that Julie and I do very well, I've said it a million times, is communicate. Like, we communicate well. And even when we don't communicate directly at the times that we need to be communicating, we're going to communicate eventually. There are a lot of couples that don't communicate at all.
At all.
Like, I'm be honest with you, y'all. Especially, I'm talking to you, not you, Steve. I'm talking to you in the camera right here, right over here. If you are in the dating world and you like 2, 3, 4, 5 years in, and you ain't have the answer to some of those top 5s.
Oh, boy. Strike a nerve, light a match.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Yo, I'm being so, yo.
Yeah, you're wasting time.
Ain't nobody got time.
No, that's what I'm saying. Those top questions, like you said, you have your 5, I answered mine. In the first 1 or 2 months, you need to know the answer to at least 80% of them.
Right.
Because where is this going? Now I'm off the market. I can't meet my dream person because I'm off the market.
Right.
You know? So,
yeah,
good.
Nah,
That's
man.
good.
And don't nobody got time for that.
No.
Listen, this is the analogy I like to use, right?
Okay.
When you go to the store and you want to buy the new pasta, you want to buy the new dish, or you're buying frozen meal because you need something quick for the kids or the family, whatever you don't feel like cooking that day, what is the first thing you do when you pull that thing out the fridge or you pull it off the shelf?
You read the back?
What's on the back?
The ingredients. Oh, the instructions.
Yeah. The instructions
Mm-hmm.
and the ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Both are important, but it was the ingredients I was looking for. And why do you read the ingredients?
To see what's up.
Mom, interrogate me. Why you read the ingredients, Angie?
I don't know.
This is not an interrogation, yo.
Oh my God. You put me on the spot. Do I even read the back? I don't know. If it's new,
Angie's
yes.
sweating.
I'm sweating.
You read the nutritional label.
Yes.
I know people that don't act. Not everybody reads the nutritional, but you should. Please.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of stuff in food that you don't even know what you're eating. The golden rule is if grandma and grandpa didn't know what it was, you shouldn't be putting it in your body, right? But I eat gummies like a madman, so I gotta practice what I preach. I'm working hard, y'all. But you read the ingredients, right? Yeah. And the reason why you read the ingredients is because you want to know what's inside. So if you don't eat food blindly, then why would you consume a relationship blindly?
Oh, that's good. Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, why would you walk into a relationship kind of hoping, sort of, maybe that it'll go well if you maybe mesh and we're just having a good time and seeing where it goes? Like, bro, I hope to never, ever, 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 ever be on the dating market again. But in a hypothetical, alternate, crazy, satanic universe, if I was, okay, dude, I got to know this stuff within the first 4 or 5 dates. If I don't, if I get the answer I'm looking for, yeah. But if I'm asking you for that answer and you're not giving me that answer and you give me some wishy-washy, I want to go that deep yet, then I ain't got time for you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, it's so important. And again, that's why it's like you shouldn't rush into stuff and know exactly what you want, especially if you want it to last. But if you're out here, you're just having a good time, you don't need to get that deep. But also communicate that, because if you don't want to go that deep and that person is looking for that, then you're like wasting each other's time. Right. You know, so that's also important too.
Well, you know what? That's actually a good point, right? Because if you're courting somebody and you don't really know where they stand on core issues that impact your everyday living, and you both decide to just let it rock, and you get deeper or longer into the relationship without necessarily getting deeper into the relationship, then how you gonna know? They're basically giving you, if somebody's being evasive, right, and not opening up to you, they're basically telling you everything you need to know about how that relationship eventually is going to go. Now, that's not to say that people can't grow. Like, it's not to say you can't grow through stuff, but you got to read the writing on the wall. And when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. It might not be who they'll always be, but that's who they are right now. Is that good enough for you? If our people pleases me, I got to tell you, it is 100% okay and necessary for you to ask the question, is this good enough? Not are you good enough, but is this good enough for me?
Yeah, what we have going on, is that good enough? Are you okay with this long term? Because like to your point, and I think you said it, there's people that have been in relationships 8 to 10 years and still don't have answers to those 5, 6 basic questions.
I'm still Angela, and I'm sweating.
I'm sweating. It's too much. It's not my situation. I'm freaking out because 10 years is a long time.
Dude, that's a decade. Look at how much has happened in the last 10 years between 2015 and 2025.
So we moved up here in 2015, so that's a good thing. So we've moved 3 times. We've moved 3 times, added 2 kids, bought 1 house. Wallace has been in the same job. I've been in the same job. But yeah, a lot of changes still in those 10 years. So how do you not have answers to these questions?
And sometimes it's the things that are not said that speak the loudest. You wouldn't be able to move 3 times, buy a house, have kids. All of those are major life decisions that you can't kind of just roll through and be like, all right, we'll just figure out how this goes out. No, you got to be on the same page about finances. You got to be on the same page about kids.
It's a lot of things.
You got to be on the same page about where do we want to live? How much money do we want to make? What's going to make us feel comfortable? What's going to make us feel safe and heard? And to that point, I don't know how you get 10 years into a relationship and you don't make any major moves or hit some crossroads. You know, like how do you do that? Yeah. You got to know what you want. You got to know your worth. And you have to ask yourself, if I'm going for reciprocity and I want to feel loved, seen, and heard, celebrated, and accompanied on my way up, is the person that I'm with going to take me there, or am I going to have to spend my time teaching them?
Yeah, but I think you said it. Do I value myself? Because I think sometimes too we think so much of the other person because we love them and we've dedicated 10 years to this. So it's kind of like, oh, I wasted my time. It's like, think of yourself. Be a little selfish in that, and it's like, can I keep doing this? Is this valuable to me? Or am I just going through the motions and being complacent? Like, you have to get a little bit uncomfortable and really think about that. Like, is this what I want for the next 10 years? You know? So.
Let me ask you this, right, real quick.
Okay.
Say somebody is not equally yoked with you when you first meet them, but you see some raw materials that you know that if are honed in on and maybe tweaked and learned about, expanded on, could blossom into the person that you need that will bring you there. How much is too much to teach, and how little is little enough to neglect, or not neglect, to accept and work on and stay with that person as they grow?
How the saying goes, lad, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. You have to see like that they actually want to do that. And I think if they have like that hunger and you're giving them the tools and you see that they're trying, excelling, you know, maybe they need a little bit of help there. They're looking for that help. Like if they have trauma and they're talking to someone, like you see them actually doing the work. I think it just depends how much are you willing to sacrifice of yourself and what you and your needs to be there for that person. But I think it's situation by situation. It just depends if they're doing the work and willing versus like you keep telling them it's going in one ear out the other. But yeah, it just depends. And I think it also depends on how long they've been together. Because if it's someone I just met and I'm telling them this and they're like, oh, whatever, I'm not going to waste my time, you know? But if you've been down for that person, again, so long and they've never done the work before and you actually see those changes that you've never seen, I think you're going to be more willing to stay and kind of help them get to the place that they also want to get to. Because I don't think anyone wakes up and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna be the same person I was 10 years ago.
Yeah, that is so true.
You know, I don't think I don't think there's anyone on earth that wants that, but I think there's barriers and I think that there's things that they have to like work on to know how to get to that next level. And they might not have them because of situations, trauma, abuse, whatever it might be. But I wouldn't stay that long.
I would stay that long.
La cyber mommy has zero patience. And that's like the toughest part for me of being a mom is because again, the kids never been here before. As Wallace calls them, like they're aliens. We have to teach them everything. It's tough because it's so much responsibility. You know, it's so much. And I feel like that's what worries me all the time. It's like, am I doing a good job? Are we doing this? Are we doing enough? You know? So it's like, why am I doing this for a grown ass person that can also do for themselves?
Okay.
You know, that's the tough part for me.
I'm glad you went there. Let's go there just a little deeper.
Okay.
Let's go a little
All
deeper.
right.
Okay, just real quick before we run out of time. Okay, that is a thing that I see on many a Instagram reel, many a shorts, is women complaining that they gotta be the mother to their spouses. To
and that's why I'm like so grateful that Wallace came as 100% person and I did too. It's not like 50-50. We are literally 200% individuals that know what we want. We work together because life is tough enough. I already do projects at work. I don't need a project at the house. Like I gotta work on my spouse and help them become a better parent and a better spouse and a better man. I got 2 girls that I need to worry about. I don't got time to add a third kid. Pretty much how a lot of women have to deal with their spouse.
Now, have you seen that happen with men as well? If we flip the script.
They maintain their wife because their wife, whatever situation might be. Yeah.
So again, might be a hard question, but speaking to the ladies and the gents out there and the kings and queens, how much is too much picking up the slack? How much slack is too much for you to pick up before you cross that line between a supportive partner who wants the best for their spouse and, bro, I'm just being your surrogate parent?
Yeah, and I think it comes from like realizing that those things happen, and like most of the time women are the ones that have that mental load. But again, just watching Instagram reels, or like there's a lot of like mental load coaches that try to coach men into like picking up the slack, like you said. But it's like, just open your eyes. Like, again, with all these Instagram reels, it's like, oh, I always tell my wife just to make me a list and I'll do it. But it's like, do you know that then I might as well just do it? I'm going to write you a list. Open your eyes. You know what needs to be done in this GD house. Like, just do it.
But to that point, though, what if they grew up not seeing that? What if they grew up not seeing a man anticipate the needs of his wife or anticipate the needs of their kids? What if they grew up seeing their mom do everything as well? How much is it his responsibility?
Break the
as
cycle
much as
type.
Yours. Because here's the thing, and that's why I love the fact one of the protecting factors that is slowing the divorce rate down is early cohabitation and a prolonged marriage or a prolonged wedding, whatever you want to call it. Prolonged marriage. Like, bruh.
Or prolonged engagement.
Prolonged engagement. You knew who homie was. You knew who homegirl was 10 years ago. And if they haven't, and all right, let's use numbers, right? Just use these numbers. Say you're with somebody for 10 years and you got engaged at year 5. At year 5, essentially that person showed you that, man, like they really don't help me around the house. They don't really take any ownership or leadership in the major decisions in our lives. But I love him, I love her, and I think they can make it.
So if they love you, right? I feel like you said, it's 2 parts, right? You love me, so I'm gonna, and I know that you want to, but like you said, you never had that example, whatever. And I'm telling you, like, these are the things that I expect, or I'm telling you, like, these are the things that you can help me take this off my mind, as Wallace says, close that tab in my brain, right? And you still don't do it, but you know what the things are. Then it's like you're choosing not to help, and you're choosing not to contribute or whatever. Because I could just be bad by myself. I don't need you in my face not doing things. It's like, what is it? A married single mom.
Now, do you think it's possible, though, that a partner could just flip the switch like that after children are introduced, where they're not anticipating the needs? Or
children change a lot of things, Vlad.
They do.
Yeah, I would say yes. Even if like it's just 2 people, you add a kid to the mix, I feel like you have to relearn and unlearn a lot of things, you know, because now you have to think about this kid. And then again, just naturally how we're wired, we have an extra million tabs open when kids are involved. So it's like having that conversation. And if it doesn't happen after the conversation, then it's like, now you're choosing not to help me with these kids.
So then what do?
I have no idea, Vlad. Seek counsel. Seek counsel. Get some, some help. Because again, I don't think men wake up.
What if that help costs a lot of money?
Just get your priorities in order. Because mental health, again, is just like, it's so important. You have to take care of it. So it's like, just how you add groceries to your budget, you better add your psychiatrist appointment right there.
I made a video the other day, and I was talking about how when I talk to men, I invite them to, hey, I'm doing a support group for every second Tuesday of the month. Or, hey, I'm speaking at this men's summit. You should come through. Or, hey, I'm having this event for men to build community. Or, hey, join this support group. Join this men's circle. Join this community. One of the first things I hear from guys that I've made that invitation for is, oh, man, that looks like a lot of money, bro. It's a lot of money.
So that's the thing. So I know that it is a lot of money. It's like at least $100 some every session, and it comes from a place of privilege to say just pay it. But there's so many free resources too.
Yeah, well, I always say if you're not ready for group, if you can't afford or not ready for psychotherapy, bro, go to get group. I was on ACA when I was recovering from my suicidal ideations. I was in ACA every single morning. Right? ACA,
now, what is it? I was going to say, what is ACA for folks that don't know? So
ACA is the Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families. And that support group has something called the laundry list. Every call, they go through the laundry list, and the inverse of the laundry list, what are the things that my traumas taught me about myself, and what are the things that I'm going to believe now that I have agency, that I'm an adult child, right? I was on that. I joined the Men's Winning Circle. I was I had a sponsor that I spoke to anytime that I was struggling. I had to call him once a day. I had people that prayer partners. Like but I wasn't paying for a lot of these things.
Right.
ACA is free.
Yeah, ACA is free because it's kind of like AA or NA,
Yeah.
right? So there are resources out there. I just feel like if you are already open to that, you can find those things if money is a factor. But yeah, seek support. Like you said, if you can't do it one-on-one, do it in a group where you know, maybe you feel too vulnerable sharing with just one person in a group. You know, you hear a few stories and you feel, you know, willing and able to participate. But the resources are out there if you can't afford it. And I think before it gets to the resentment part of it, definitely get the help, because again, as women, when we check out mentally first.
That's true.
And you don't want to get to that point, because it doesn't matter how much changing, talking, ACA, non-ACA, free, paid, the woman is already gone. So if you do want to do that, do it early enough. If she's already talked to you twice, please go get some help, because she's going 3 strikes, you're out in my mind.
Okay. I have to ask this before we wrap up.
Okay.
Is there a point where you've gotten frustrated in the relationship, the partner's not pulling their weight emotionally, physically sometimes, and even logistically with the kids, with the responsibilities, and you give them an ultimatum, and you say, if you don't get your shift together, shout out Myron Edmonds, you don't get your shift together, then I'm out. Because that's how a lot of men get introduced to therapy, right?
I've thankfully...
Is there a point where it's too late for a woman?
I would say after that third conversation. And I'm not speaking from experience. Thankfully, Wallace never did that to me. Again, he's perfect. My angel baby sent from above. But I feel like 3 strikes, you're out. Like, she already told you twice. Like, why would you expect more than what she does with the kids? 3 strikes. After that, it's like the consequence. And the consequence is losing, because what else is she going to do? Again, you're not her child. And you've already been treated like a child because you don't listen.
But what if that man or that person, what if that person is trying, okay, they didn't do anything up until the point of the ultimatum, and now they are expending themselves endlessly, doing this hard work, trying to squeeze it all in the time frame.
But why did it take this long?
Because, I mean, I'm not speaking from experience either,
Right.
But,
no, I know.
But
it's just so many questions for the hypotheticals, because I feel like it's so layered. Like, it's never like, again, they woke up, they're like, you know what, I'm going to F up my marriage. And I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, and F her and F this and blah, blah. It's like things happen. It's like little breaks, you know, little breaks throughout that it ultimately cracks. Now you can't put it back together. And even if you do, when you shatter something, it's in a million pieces. It's not like a clean break, like 2, I'm a super glue it together. Oh, you see a little crack, but no. Shattered, there's no way that it's going to look the same. It can be brought back together, but it's never going to look the same. So maybe that person needs to do some work, some healing to bring it back together, but it's going to take time.
Well, that was going to be my last question is, in that scenario, that ultimatum happens, get your shift together, whether that looks like finding the reason why you're not helping me, finding the reason why the mental load is too hard for you to anticipate to carry. Is it the person who's being given the ultimatum, is it their responsibility and their responsibility only to facilitate and experience the healing, or do they need to do it together?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think the responsibility to repair the shatteredness is on the person that wasn't doing the work, but the person that gave the ultimatum needs to have an open heart to accept that person is now doing the work and really look at themselves and say, okay, now they're doing the work. Am I okay with that? Or has it been too much hurt, too much resentment, too many years, whatever, how many years that I'm done, you know? But I would say give it a chance to see, now that the help is there and they're willing to go to therapy or whatever it is that's happening, is can there be reconciliation?
Should lopsided couples where that happens, should if therapy is on the table and that's one of the conditions of the ultimatum, should they be going to therapy together?
Yes.
Or should just the person who's responsible for
No. They should definitely be together. Because I feel like they need to know what the other person is saying. Because you can tell me I'm going to therapy. How do I know that? How do I really know that, Vlad? And we're supposed to be working something out, and you're like, yeah, my therapist said. How do I really know that? And how do I know? Right. How do I know that what your therapist is saying is based on something that really happened, or are you just giving your side of the story? You know what I mean? Yeah. So now you're just looking good and I'm looking crazy, when in actuality you're the one that's crazy and I'm trying to like save this. You know what I mean?
You know, I never thought about it that way, that if the two of you aren't in the repairing process together, you're not only knowing what's not being said, but you also can't accurately measure whether or not that person is doing and experiencing the work and if it's changing them. And I guess that.
Yeah, you have to be together, because you can say, oh, she did this and I'm there with you. So I'm like, actually, it happened like this. You just took it that way because I said it this way. You know what I mean? It's tone. Yes, exactly. So now I'm going to you with what my therapist said. You're coming to me with what your therapist said, and no, together.
And for all we know, those therapists could be your stylist and my barber.
Exactly. So it's like, when you know better, you do better. Get together. If you really want to save it, you have to do it together.
Wait. You gotta say it one more time.
Oh, when you know better, you do better.
No, you gotta say the whole thing. When you know better, you do together and stay together.
Oh yeah, when you know better, you do better. If you're trying to repair, you got to do it together.
That's gonna be the code. I think we're just gonna end it on that. When you know better, you do better. If you
oh God, when you know better, you do better. If you're trying to save it, you got to do it together.
That's it, y'all. That's the icing on the cake. That's it. Listen, and you know what? I gotta say it again. Roots and Rhythm is made possible by viewers like you. Now I'm playing. That's the NPR stuff. But seriously, if you like this content, if you love what you hear and you want to hear more, make sure you like and subscribe. Share this across your channels. We're available on every podcast platform that we can possibly get our hands on.
Yes, YouTube.
And we're on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, and make sure you follow us.
Thank you for everyone that's showing love, commenting, sharing, sending us DMs. Send us more DMs. I love getting DMs.
Talk to us. Yo, holla at us, because this is great. I love when people get involved.
Right. And what you want to hear us talk about, I guess. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like I said, man, we already said it the best way. Andrew, like Saber Mommy, put it in the best possible way. When you know better, you do better. Something, do it together.
If you want to repair it, do it together.
If you want to repair it, do it together. That's going to be a T-shirt when the merch comes out. But listen, thank you, Angie, for dropping the gems. That was fire right there. I think we worked through a lot today.
We did.
We did. And I think it's my hope and prayer is that if you're listening to this right now, is that you can either be empowered or be informed to do the work yourself.
And if it felt like a gut punch, ask yourself why.
The gut punches aren't death punches. Sometimes a gut punch reminds you that you need to breathe, right? And do something different. So it's your boy Vlad the Bull, your #1 embrace coach.
And Angie, la cyber mommy.
Well, I will see you next time, and make sure you stay rooted.
Stay rooted.